Good morning. Welcome to India Today SoSouth. This is the last day or the 10th day of cracks in the Dravidian wall. TR Jawahar, the group editor of uh, News Today, based in Chennai, has been with us and he's given us dollops of insights into Tamil Nadu, the culture, the politics, why the Dravidian parties are as strong as they are. And all of that is available in previous 9 parts. In the description of this video, you will find all the 9 earlier parts if you have missed them, and if you want to really get a crash course on the history of Tamil Nadu's recent political history. I think you would do well to kind of spend some time on those links. Thank you, Jawahar, for that. We are now, this is today is the silent phase of electioneering. The politicians are all, after I think getting a deserved rest now, and tomorrow is the D-Day, and whatever they have done and not done, everything can be done and undone tomorrow, right, at the hustings. And I'm not just talking in terms of the voting percentages or whether people are going to vote or not. I think Tamil Nadu is notorious for a whole lot of other kinds of election management. So that is where Jawahar today we will kind of straddle that part of the Tamil Nadu election scenario. So do tell us, you have written extensively about the kind of the fine art of management of elections in Tamil Nadu. So your opening statement, and then I'll pick up questions from what you say.
Good day, Rao, and good day, viewers. Thanks for all the support you have been expecting, extending all these 10 days for us. No, this is not a silent day. I would say it's an ominously silent day because so many things are happening behind the scene. And tomorrow's D-Day is actually V-Day, Voters' Day. Now, typically in the last several decades, Tamil Nadu pollscape has been between AIDMK and DMK, with probably some allies and probably with some lone wolves plowing their own furrow. But this time we have a new big entrant with a major thrust into Tamil Nadu. It is Narendra Modi's BJP. The Prime Minister himself has led the charge into Tamil Nadu with full force, with his full parivar. And Annamalai is the commander-in-chief and cutting edge in Tamil Nadu. And Prime Minister has himself said that sung pains on Annamalai. So Annamalai is now being touted as the uh, messiah who will take the TN people to the promised land, a land that has been completely messed up by the Dravidian parties. Now to quote another Abrahamic analogy, now we have this David facing a huge big Goliath in the form of DMK. The DMK's formidable front is peppered and punctuated by the battle lines are drawn by the bloodlines of DMK, many bloodlines. So even if Annamalai, or for that matter even ADMK, manages to puncture some of those bloodlines, that will be a big dent on the DMK's psyche and morale itself. So this is a very keenly watched poll all over India. That's what I would say. But temperatures are soaring, so we have frayed tempers, and frying temperatures. All of us we have been facing. For once, I think politicians deserve the votes. They have to earn their votes now. Over to you.
Yeah. So politicians have to earn their votes, you said. And in Tamil Nadu and in India's elections, it can have that earn can have multiple meanings, right? So which part of the earn are you talking of?
Tamil Nadu is the ideal example of a welfare state. If the fare is right, all is well. By fare, I mean bribe. If the fare is right, all is well. This is the perfect example of a welfare state. And money is the legal or illegal tender that, on which our poll missionary runs across all
Yeah.
political parties. Annamalai has said that BJP will not be indulging in any of these money matters. But I think he has also spoken something today morning. But ever since yesterday night and the whole of today, money is what is going around everywhere. It's a fact. It's a fact.
So you just referred to Annamalai. So this was his closing message yesterday before end of campaigning. So I'm just
Yeah.
playing that. And then
அன்பார்ந்த கோயம்புத்தூர் பாராளுமன்ற தொகுதியினுடைய வாக்காளர் பெருமக்களே, கடந்த 25 நாட்களாக தேதி அறிவிப்புக்கு பிறகு செல்லுகின்ற இடமெல்லாம் நம்முடைய தேசிய ஜனநாயக கூட்டணி பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சிக்கு உங்களுடைய பெரும் ஆதரவை அளித்திருக்கின்றீர்கள். மாற்றத்தின் பக்கம் நின்று கொண்டிருக்கின்றீர்கள். கோவை வளர வேண்டும் என்றால் மோடி அவர்களுடைய பிரதிநிதி கோயம்புத்தூருக்கு வேண்டும் என்று ஒரே மனதோடு முடிவெடுத்திருக்கின்றீர்கள். நாம் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றோம், நம்முடைய எதிர்க்கட்சி நண்பர்கள் எல்லாம் உங்களை ஏலம் விட்டு கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள். ஒரு இடத்துல 1000, ஒரு இடத்துல 500, ஒரு இடத்துல 250 ஆடு மாடுகளைப் போல ஏலம் விட்டு கொண்டிருக்கின்றார்கள். ஆனால் அவர்களுக்கு கோயம்புத்தூர் மக்களை பற்றி இன்னும் புரியவில்லை, மக்களுடைய தன்மானத்தை பற்றி தெரியவில்லை. அன்பு சகோதர சகோதரிகளே, நமக்கு தெரியும் பாரத.
So Jawahar, 2 questions from this. You want to say something first?
It's a very painful, he is very pained, as I can see, that, he's facing a very tough ordeal against the big money bags of DMK and ADMK. And there is some substance to what he is saying, because we expected it long back. Annamalai himself said right at the beginning that, to defeat him, they will go to any extent. And money is the biggest, and they are bidding for the people's votes. No, I'm not worried about something. I have been saying that we must go for change, we must seek change. No, probably people may mistake it for loose change, like 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. That's the kind of change that we talk about here.
The wrong change.
This wry black humor has to be, is a constant, because I do not know, simply because money is the vehicle on which the whole election is being run now. And I do not know how Annamalai is going to counter it today and tomorrow, particularly. BJP now, on one side, they have to build up their organizational machinery to bring the vote for their own voters. On the other side, they have to do this defense mechanism against those who are trying to bribe the voters. We can't just trust the election commission to do the whole job, because they are grossly understaffed. Today, when I was coming to the office, my car and several other small vehicles were all checked. But big Tata Safaris and huge vehicles are just passing just like that. So they are simply understaffed, and they have no clue whom to check or what to check. So it's very difficult now to bring out the real money that's going on. So this is going to be one more monetary exercise, massive monetary exercise.
Right.
Tamil Nadu cannot be demonetized. Tamil Nadu cannot be demonetized during election.
Good one. So I want to provoke you a little more by reading what you wrote in 2019. This is pertaining to elections and cash management. You called it cash plus economy.
Oh my God.
Really, for the great bulk of the populace, if voting is a right, getting paid for their vote is a right as well. Right? So, out of that, I want to ask you, is Annamalai being a bit naive in expecting people to do 2 things? One, not to take money, and to vote for the BJP just for the love of change. And the real politics is something else.
Annamalai is being naive in the sense that, not that he does not know the play of money in this field, but he's trying to tell the people that they should not fall for this. So that is what he is trying to do. He is not unaware, or he is not naive to the happening here. And the people, as I have said in that article, people deem it the right.
Jawahar, I lost you briefly for 2 seconds. Just repeat what you said.
Yeah, Annamalai is not naive, or he is not unaware of what the opposition, ADMK and DMK, are up to. He knows fully well what they are up to, and he has taken a bold challenge that he will not resort to these kind of methods, and he is exhorting the people not to fall for this kind of bribery. But as I have always written, it is very difficult to change the people's minds. The youth has to be changed first. So this voter bribery is a fine distinction. It is a grammatical distinction, I would say. I have written that the voters deem it as a right. When I say that, what I really meant was that The politicians are not giving bribe. The voters are taking bribe. That's a huge difference between all. It's not a fine legal thing. They are not lawmen. They are ordinary laymen. And all they need is the pound of 1,000 rupee note. They love
So
Gandhi on
what
that note.
exactly?
Seeing Gandhi on
Yeah,
the
sorry.
note, they love Gandhi for that. Mahatma Gandhi. So,
So, so explain the nuance between they are not politicians are not giving money, voters are taking money. Give me the nuance. What are you suggesting?
there is only one nuance. If
Hmm.
a politician wants to bribe a set of people, a community or a colony or something like that,
Hmm.
no, he has to take it in some vehicle, which will be subject to some kind of a checking. So that is a macro issue for them. So if suppose he takes 1 lakh, it will be easily caught. But voters take bribe. They go visit certain well
Ah,
identified places, and they go take
okay.
2,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees, whatever they take, or somebody can take
Correct.
10,000 rupees, give it to the members of a family or the neighborhood. So this is a very well
Okay.
perfected system.
Okay.
So no, nobody is going to catch somebody with 10,000 rupees. Whereas somebody will definitely target a politician with about
True.
1 or 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. So this is a
Okay.
very nuanced, minor, but a very significant difference in giving bribes and taking bribes.
It's a, it's a
The first
very,
person on
very,
this.
yeah. No, now I understood that line. I read that line, but I understood differently. I'll tell you what I understood. But here is very important. What you said is that this huge cash is not being transported by politicians. It is in a place, and the place is advertised to the voters, and the voters go there and pick the money, and it is small change.
Yeah,
Right? Is that what you're saying?
yeah,
So
that's
that's
what I'm
the art
saying.
of. Okay. Right. So how I understood it, Jawahar, was that you were saying that it's become a kind of a demand from the voter that I was looking at it in that sense when you said that it's not politicians giving, it's these fellows are taking. So, but that's also true, isn't it?
Yeah, demand is definitely there. Who is going to say no to money? Demand is there. That is now a given now. No, what
Right.
is important is how this will be given.
Hmm.
You understand? So this is
Right.
the modalities. How the liquidity is
Right.
going to be spread around. So the demand is a given.
So
So don't have no mistake about it. Even in Annamalai's constituency, no mistake. Don't
yes.
make no mistake about it. Probably conscientious voters may take money from DMK and ADMK and maybe vote for Annamalai. That will happen, but they will
That
not give up the right. Most of them will not give up the right.
so does Annamalai have and the BJP have any other tool to stop this other than appeal to the conscience of voters, which is a very dubious thing these days, as in the conscience doesn't seem to exist.
In my view, the only conscience that they can appeal to is the conscience of the young voters.
Okay.
It is the young voters who are actually in need of money, for
Hmm.
everything. But the only
Right.
way this can be changed from bottoms up is to appeal to the conscience of the young voters. I have said it before. It is the parents who are very particular,
Hmm.
the people above the age of 35, 40 and all. The young voters have to,
Hmm.
their conscience will have to be, raked up. And they must be told that this is a very shameful way of earning your living. This is all tainted money, whoever gives it. Even if my
Right.
own party gives it, that's just said. It
Yeah.
is all tainted
Hmm.
money, painted in black and red. Uh,
Hmm.
Black and red is the color of our favorite colors in
Right.
Tamil Nadu.
Right.
Tainted money.
Yeah.
And it has come from drugs, it has come from liquor, it has come from all kinds of
Correct.
dubious sources. So they can appeal to that. And young voters definitely want to have a honorable approach to their
Hmm.
lives. There's a lot of resentment among the young voters, educated young voters, that they should not be doing this. So such voters gradually will build up into. So this change will happen, churning will happen over a couple of elections, and
Hmm.
definitely, if uh, Annamalai and people like him stick around for long, Tamil Nadu's politics can be changed. Not just Annamalai, there are a number of activists, NGOs,
Hmm.
and a number of
Hmm.
other advertisements in media and media
Right.
people themselves. They are all spreading the message that they must not take money for their votes. So at some point in time, this will sink in and cause a
Hmm.
generational change suddenly. Maybe the next election we will have a lesser amount of money play.
Hmm.
But that
Okay.
doesn't mean we can throw caution to the winds. The Electoral
Yes.
Commission will have to keep their eyes and ears open.
Hmm. I have a generational question here, which is that generally we think, maybe just because we are old, all older generations think that younger generations, the moral grip on society is actually loosening, right? So, do you think this is possible, that the young will think differently from us right now, who have been kind of habituated in Tamil Nadu to taking money
No,
for voting?
the moral question that you are talking about between elders and youngsters today is not on this count of electoral money and other things. See,
Mm.
uh, the questions are more about the old world morality and the or Victorian morality, what we call. But laws themselves are changing now. The law has been amended to accept transgenders, live-in relationships, all these kind of things. This is where the big clashes between intercaste marriages. This is where the real clash between the older generation and the younger generation is coming. But as far as the electoral malpractices are concerned, I see a lot of youngsters resenting this. Well, educated youngsters
Okay.
resenting this and telling them friends that they should not be doing it. I hope they all turn up tomorrow. That is my biggest
Yes.
anxiety.
Annamalai specifically addressed them yesterday in the same message,
Yeah.
saying that it's not enough to want change. Follow it up with actually going to vote. You
Vote.
can't sit in your
I have
drawing
something to
room and
say.
change.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have
go
something
ahead.
to say on that towards the end of it. At the end of it.
Okay, right.
Coming to
So,
vote.
so tell me, is this feeling of Tamil Nadu elections being tainted, not just this election, for a long time now, Tamil Nadu elections being tainted by money, the feeling of kind of aversion to that kind of a politics, is it actually gaining critical momentum? You seem to suggest that. Is it reaching some what do you call point where it can tipping point?
It has not reached any tipping point as such.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
point is that my worry is not about the morality aspect or anything.
Mm.
A lot of youngsters have been, brought into the TASMAC fold in Tamil Nadu. So
Right.
maybe this kind of needs would some amount of pocket money would probably help them. TASMAC is a big lure for.
So explain that for people who might be in Delhi who don't understand what this TASPAC is and what is the connection between what we are
TASMAC,
talking about.
TASMAC is a very nasty thing by which the government itself sells liquor. Government sells liquor to the people directly, and I don't know. Every state has its own policy, but government sells liquor directly through TASMAC shops. There are elite TASMAC shops where youngsters come and pick up the stuff, saraku from here. So this addiction is there. It is more. There is addiction among the poor, and there is a fad among the middle class also. So this fad among the youngsters
Mm.
is, in my view, the biggest disturbance for the
Is
electoral,
it
the
is
cash for
it
economy.
prevalent across villages and urban areas? This.
Yeah. Youngsters are getting into this TASMAC loop in a big bad way, and I'm worried about that. The second is the overwhelming influence of cinema that youngsters are once again glued to.
Mm.
That is also a pernicious influence of cinema. I have always objected to that. I have said that this is a state where cinema is a genetic obsession, and people find
Right.
that stars find Hollywood the best food to go to Kotai. So the
Mm.
pernicious influence of cinema is also there. So these are the two
Right.
disturbances that the youth of today face in Tamil Nadu. So maybe money will probably lure them into these two kind of things. But otherwise,
Mm.
largely speaking,
Mm.
the youth are can be trusted to be insulated from such things. And the tipping point has not yet arrived, but it will arrive in probably the next 5 years, as more and more people resent
Correct. Yeah.
this. They're
So
shamed by it, and they're shamed by it.
correct. So if let's say if Annamalai wins Coimbatore, right? Would then will we be able to say that money didn't play a part, or money at least didn't play a big enough part? Would that be one kind of a starting point to say that okay, things can change?
I would attribute a bigger meaning to that. It sends a very
Yeah.
clear message that despite so much money, despite so much of bribery and voter corruption, I have
Mm.
won. Annamalai can say that. Sees the high ground.
Okay. Right.
So the message is larger than just putting down this. He says that despite all that, I have won. So Annamalai is winning Coimbatore is going to be a major, big message to the youth that the youth, the bribery of the voters has failed completely. So on that count, I would definitely want Annamalai to win from Coimbatore.
So it's a message
the
from
right
the youth to. I'm trying to clarify. You're saying that this is a message from the Tamil Nadu youth to the older people, saying that we do not want to follow your money cash politics. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And it is a message to the larger population of Tamil Nadu also that this will be replicated in the other cash-driven, cash-plus economies of the rest of the state.
Right. So Coimbatore, for that reason, becomes very, very critical for Annamalai, right? Many messages in it. Yeah.
Not just Annamalai, but for the very poll procedure and poll morality itself, I would say.
Right. Yeah. So let's see. We have only one. Tomorrow we vote, and maybe from the percentage of voting, will we get to know something? Tomorrow, let's say if there is the voting percentage goes up by 5%, let us say. Would it indicate something at all, or?
Yeah, it will. Any voting percentage above Coimbatore has always had a reasonably good percentage. It is a literate state and industrious state, as I've always been telling you. So any voting percentage above 70 to 75, even 75% will be, I think, helpful to Annamalai. Annamalai himself is saying that he will get 60% of the votes polled. He's very confident about that.
He's confident.
So I would want a good voting percentage in the entire state itself, 75 plus. And if it happens in Coimbatore can be a good starting point for the rest of the leader for the rest of the state in the forthcoming polls.
Right. So once again, to provoke you a bit more, this is once again from your book. Even Marx could not have conceived this kind of wealth distribution system.
So where are you now?
I'm on page 133.
Yeah. I see that.
Yes. So tell me, what is this well-conceived system, that wealth distribution you're talking of? Is the same cash for votes?
Exactly. See, the entire Marxist philosophy or ideology or theology, I call it a religion, so I call it also a theology. Communism is a religion in my mind. So it's a theology. Marxism is a theology. It's based on wealth distribution. It is all about haves and have-nots. It is not about any. It doesn't have any spiritual content in it. It is only got. It is a material ideology. So it's about haves and have-nots, class war, and all that. Here, electoral money is a major leveler here. Major leveler in Tamil Nadu. When it comes to hard cash, all are on one side, givers and all are on one side. So that is why I said that even Marx could not have conceived this kind of level playing field, level playing field and wealth distribution system, and well-honed wealth distribution system. Marx could not achieve it. Even the leftists could not achieve it anywhere in this world. But during Paul time, and I have already told you, in a welfare state, if the fare is right, all is well. So in Tamil Nadu, the fare is well distributed, all is well. Marx would be, happy in his grave.
Right. So, is let's say Annamalai is mounting a very strong offensive, not just in Coimbatore, across many seats in the state. So, is Stalin sitting back and saying, "Okay, we'll buy everything by cash," or what's been the response from the DMK? They're very fighting fit.
Stalin is not wholly relying on money power. Money power, both ADMK and DMK are well matched. They will be able to do it. That's not an issue at all. Both ADMK and DMK feel that the BJP, Modi brand and Annamalai have made a lot of inroads into their into their territory, into their captive vote banks. So now they are now trying to make it up. I don't want to put it in very such crass terms, but the point is that many ministers are now spending money with the hope that they still have 2 more years, so they can always make it up in those 2 more. That is what it is. It is an investment. You put money and you take the returns. That is what politics is here. And it is in Tamil Nadu. It is very.
Yeah.
in Tamil Nadu, it is seen very openly. It is seen very openly. So Stalin is not definitely sitting back and thinking that we have distributed the money, everything will come. He will ensure that the voters, whether paid or whether loyal voters who vote DMK, even if they are not paid, he has told all his district secretaries, all his party men that they must all be in the booth from morning to night. Because thanks to EVMs and the VVPAT and all those things, this color vote thing is not possible in my view. It used to be possible.
It's not easy
But now
anymore. Yeah.
it is not as easy anymore. Easy has not made it very easy. So Stalin will definitely, and Edapadi also for that matter, not just Stalin, will not just think that we have given the money, so the votes will automatically come. And here people take money from all parties, and so the loyalty is not ensured. So the only way they can do it is that they bring all their do all their mobilization, which is their strong point. Which is the strong point of DMK and AIDMK. So the mobilization is going to be the in thing tomorrow. Motivation part is over, management part is over, distribution, those things are all over. Tomorrow is a day for mobilization.
Get out the vote, however it is.
Yeah, and they are masters at it. They are masters at it.
So 2 questions I'll ask. First is that you said both of them have a lot of money, ADMK and DMK, right? That might some of our viewers may take objection saying that, oh, BJP doesn't have money. The problem is that BJP has a lot of money, but it does not have the system. Is that right? To distribute it, even if they want it. Annamalai is saying I want, but even if they want it, they can't in Tamil Nadu. Is that right?
Let me put it very plainly. BJP is not immune to this kind of tactics in the north of India.
Obviously.
Yeah, north of India, and not that it is not that it is a case of spirit being willing and the flesh is weak.
Yes.
The party apparatus here is very weak to even get the normal votes. So why
correct? Why waste money?
Illicit votes? Yeah, illicit
Yeah.
votes. So and Annamalai is definitely a stumbling block. He is very clear that this should not happen.
True.
Some people have been voicing doubts against Annamalai's credentials and credibility also, and that he is looking away from certain things which are happening. We do not know. We will never know all that. Even when I say that DMK and ADMK are having a lot of money, it is only it's a vague accusation. But it is a common impression. It's more an impression rather than a direct accusation. So I must hedge those words with these words.
Yeah, correct. No, like we discussed yesterday, and you in fact mentioned this in a different way in another article called the EC way out, okay, where you're referring to the countermanding of cancellation of Arkanagar election, right, where TTV Dinakaran was the candidate.
That's right.
There on page 127, you say, I'm not losing hope totally, but TTV need not either. And that sucks. See, right? What you're saying is, even though this election has been countermanded, TTV need not lose hope. And lo and behold, he's there, and BJP is supporting him, and Annamalai had to kind of campaign for him, right? So it's a total contradiction of what we were discussing in terms of Annamalai and the no money, no cash, right? Yeah.
That TTV need not lose hope. That sucks for me. That's what I have said there. And that's what exactly has happened now. He has somehow, inveigled himself into the ruling party's favors and all that. In this context,
that sucks a lot,
seriously. Yeah, in this context, I must tell you something about Tamil Nadu. Both Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi are the best and the most brilliant minds that you can ever see. They were very articulate. They had excellent administrative acumen and wonderful communication skills, and their capacity for memory, the memory was astounding and all that. But unfortunately, they were eclipsed by people close to them. Karunanidhi gave away everything to his dynasty over and above his co-bonds. People trusted Jayalalitha, but she entrusted herself everything else to a sinister foster sister and her foul family. So this is the bane of Tamil Nadu. This is the most unfortunate thing about Tamil Nadu, that we had two of the best minds but both of them were completely their minds, intelligence were frittered away. And then they were of no use to the people ultimately. This is a very bad thing.
Yeah.
And what we see in the form of TTV Dinakaran is the leftover of that lethal legacy that Jayalalitha, Jayalalitha's lethal legacy. It's very unfortunate that he is now parading as some kind of a paragon here. No, people's memory is so short. Radhakrishnan Nagar election countermanding was because TTV Dinakaran was flaunting cash just like that. He went to Tihar jail on the charge that he tried to bribe a election commission official for getting the symbol. So we have this man here. So this irritates.
It grates on your sensibilities like crazy. Anyway, the next question is, you said it's clear that Annamalai has made an impact, maybe even rattled or at least trying to disrupt the election, right? In that sense, have you seen any instances or heard any rumors or picked up any anything in the air about DMK and ADMK kind of closing ranks to keep out BJP?
That can only be a wild guess. But as far as Coimbatore is concerned, I am of the view that they are doing it. I'm not sure if ADMK is helping DMK or DMK is helping ADMK, or both of them together are trying to scuttle Annamalai's vote bank or anything. But both of them want Annamalai not to win here. And so he's already a kind of hero on that count, by the default. One thing is that ADMK's favorite, whip against all the BJP people used to be that they are Sanghis. Sanghi is some kind of a bad word here. But Annamalai is not a Sanghi at all. Annamalai was never a member of RSS. And Annamalai was a lateral entry into BJP and straight to the top on day one. He is there because of Modi's confidence in him. So, in fact, I would say that it is a very, very tough job for Annamalai to win this election. And if he wins it, he will be sending a very good message to the rest of Tamil Nadu and to the rest of the country also. Though I never wanted him to contest in the first place. That's a different matter.
You have gone over it clear. Right. So, we are coming to the end of our discussion today. I think we discussed as thoroughly as one can in terms of what can happen tomorrow. And more or less, apart from all the hard work that he has done, I think for now it is hope and a prayer for Annamalai that money doesn't play a very big role tomorrow, or he's been able to motivate enough people to at least kind of suspend money taking for one election, right? So I think he's going to this election on a hope and a prayer, right? With that, I would want you to now give a kind of a closing about tomorrow and what we tried to do in the last 10 years, maybe in the next 1 or 2 minutes, if you want to say something. And after that, I'll tell viewers whether they can expect to see us again or not. Yeah, over to you.
My closing statement would be an exhortation to the voters to come and vote. Vote we must. That should be the credo of all kinds of voters. Poor voters, Garibi has not been huttled. It is still prevailing here. So it is the duty to come and vote. Now, in this first past the post system, the most hated person is very likely to become your representative. A person with just 25% of the popular vote, despite having 75% people against him because they are split or many people do. So that kind of anomaly or paradox should not happen. That can happen. So that can be averted only if more and more people come and vote. One more thing is that people have, the politicians have made us beggars by giving us freebies. They have made us brothers in arms, ALMS. They have made us brothers in arms. So this is one occasion where, they say that beggars cannot be choosers. This is one occasion where we beggars can choose. So we must not miss the opportunity. We are kingmakers tomorrow. So we must remember that. Even if you have taken money, let us remember that we choose the right person. And I'll go to the extent of saying that if you don't like any party or a politician or a candidate, just go to the poll booth, Just put your stamp on any bloody symbol that you can think of, other than the
Or even a nota.
known,
Or even a
other
nota.
than people that you don't want. So even some kind of an anarchy that emerges out of it is better than this. An unknown devil is better than these known devils that we have. We have to boot out many of these people who have been entrenched in power. So these kind of things can happen only if the people come out in big numbers. Now the middle class, who are supposed to be the most apathetic and indifferent to uh, the voting setup, voting mechanism, and voting. See, poverty line is coming down according to the government statistic, and the rich are getting richer, so the billionaire club is also growing. So the huge amorphous mass in between is the middle class. Every economic policy, be it tax, be it GST, be it anything, price rise, inflation, changing the gas price, vegetable price, everything affects the middle class. The penny pinching middle class leads what I would call ATM to mouth existence, literally. But these are the people who don't come to vote much. Then they must shed their cultivated indifference to politics, because in advanced countries, middle class are very sensitive to small changes in law, minor changes in policy. Here that awareness is not much there. They complain, they talk about it, but they have to come and show it in their vote. And one last word I would say is that we should no longer allow the non-voter to determine who would rule us. It is the voter who should determine who should rule us. It is not the non-voter who should determine who should rule us. The only way that can be done is that we should cross the 85% mark, which could be wishful thinking,
Vote.
but I hope
True.
it will happen.
True. Yeah. Great. Thank you, Jawahar. I think we had a great time bringing these 10 episodes to our viewers.
Yes.
From the comments, I can definitely tell you that the people who have commented have actually heard you right through, and some of those comments are actually very, very insightful. Thank you, all viewers, for all your attention, your advice, and once in a while your knock on the knuckles for both of us. Thank you very much. Hopefully, in the next week, you will see us come back in a different avatar because the Tamil Nadu election is over, but then the election to the entire country still exists. And my assumption this time is Tamil Nadu is a little more interested in the rest of the country than we seem to have suggested during our 10 episodes. What do you say, Jawahar?
Yeah, I really enjoyed being on the show, and by watching the comments and on all that. It was a learning process for me also in many ways, because the enlightened feedback was very good. They have pointed out many mistakes and corrections also.
And,
And it was a
and
learning
both of us
process
are
for
first
me.
timers. Both of us are
It
first
was a
timers. I have never done this, and you have never done this. Yeah.
yeah. So it is a learning process
Yeah.
for me
Correct.
also. So thank you, Rao, for the
Thank you, Jawahar. I
opportunity,
think
and happy
yeah.
voting. That's what I would say. Happy voting for our
Yes,
Tamil
happy
Nadu
voting. May
viewers.
everybody vote. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jawahar. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.